Hello stock stalkers, welcome back. Let's start with ADX market index, that is Abu Dhabi Securities Exchange. I'm on the daily chart. We can see a nice recovery from 9,929 that we have already identified as our support zone. Market came down right from 10,360 points. We are seeing it's been making lower lows and lower highs. And right from the support zone we can see a nice reversal taking place. This is looking very interesting. There are good signs of a reversal to the upside. But looking at the last price action, I must say market broke out 10,102 points, that is resistance. I have been repeatedly mentioning there is resistance between 10,000 and 10,051 points. This area was previously support. We saw a good bounce. It broke out. Now it is trading above this zone, so definitely this is a good indication. Today's candle is looking a bit negative, I must say. I'm expecting a drop. Maybe it can come down to revisit 10,102, or it can again come down to visit 10,051 points. If at all it drops to the downside, we should not consider it to be negative. It will be just a retracement of this leg to the upside that it has started from 11th of September 2025. So aggressive move to the upside was seen. Do not be surprised if it comes down for a retest of any of the support zones, and then we can expect more upside momentum. ADX market index is definitely looking positive to me. It is bullish. We can say correction phase is over. Already it broke out this trend line that was resistance. We saw multiple attempts were made here. It could not break out. Even resistance was seen here. And finally, now we are seeing a successful breakout. So this move to the upside should be definitely considered as bullish and a reversal. If at all from here it comes down for a correction, it should not break the low that it made, that is 9,928 points. I hope there is no negative news or we do not have any Middle East tensions. Market should continue climbing up. Next area of resistance that I am looking at is around 10,246 points. Previously this was support. Now potentially this will act as a resistance. If at all market wants to climb up continuously from here, then most likely we will see a rejection from here, a retracement, and then upside momentum. Or if at all it comes down from here itself, then we have already identified our support zones. Overall, now ADX market is looking positive. I would like to give it a uptick, although there are chances of a small correction, and then we are expecting upside momentum. Let's talk about DFM market index. Today it has printed a pause candle. We can see a nice bounce from our support zone. Again, that is 5,896 points, perfectly playing out as per the plan. We saw a break to the upside last week. I was expecting a retest of this zone, but it did not come exactly at our support area, that is 5,958. It just made a low of 5,967 and then it moved upside. I think still there are good chances we can see a retest of this support zone, and then upside momentum is expected. My bias is still to the downside. There are chances of correction. Otherwise, after printing a solid decisive green candle today, market should have broken minor resistance, that is 6,050 points. Since market could not break out this minor resistance area, there are very high chances either we expect sideways momentum to establish a base, or market can come down to hit this support zone and then start climbing up from here. However, there is obviously another scenario that is positive. If at all we take this as a pause candle after this bullish candle, then it should continue its upside momentum aggressively. In this scenario, 6,096 points is strong resistance. Previously we saw it was acting as a support. Market came down, it went up, again it came down at the same place. We saw a bounce, and then finally we saw a breakdown. And that too after a successful retest. Check this out, this was the candle that broke the support. Very next day market tried to climb up. We saw rejection and a follow through. So definitely if Dubai stock market index tries to climb up directly from here, we will see some sort of negative reaction, maybe a pullback and then upside, or if at all it can come down, hit the base and then go up. As I'm still expecting some downside momentum for a retest, I would still give it a downtick. Once we see a successful retest of support zone, then I will change it to a uptick. One of the stock that is looking very interesting and tricky at the same time is Union Properties. By the way, from tomorrow, ALEC IPO will be starting. If at all you are interested, you can watch my video. I have provided all the details. A link will appear right at the top. Today, Union Properties opened with a small gap up and it has sustained. Let me give you a quick recap. After making aggressive move to the upside, as of now UPP is trading within this chart pattern. Unfortunately, we already saw two attempts. First attempt was right here to break down. It was unsuccessful. It recovered and closed above the pattern, but last week we saw a breakdown. This is bit negative. If at all it can again climb up, I would consider it safe, but check this out, there is resistance. Previously this area that is 0.850 was support. We can see a good bounce. Again from here it came down aggressively. We saw zigzag momentum. When previously it was acting as a support, this time it was resistance. Again the same scenario is repeated. Resistance, this time it is support. After the support was broken down, now it is acting as a resistance. We can clearly see a wick at the top. Today when it was trying to break out 0.851, it could not. We saw a rejection candle. So there are very good chances that this stock can trap us. My plan of action will be, if at all it moves up aggressively, tomorrow there are chances we may see a green candle. Most likely it will not be able to break out. It is not yet ready. Why is it? Because from here we are having two strong areas of resistance, or I must say two technical resistance areas. First one is obviously this one, that is 0.878. If at all it continues going up, it will hit this resistance. Second one is this trend line, that is also a resistance area. So it has already made two attempts. Both were unsuccessful. We saw aggressive drop to the downside. But now interesting thing is, when it hit this trend line for the first time, we saw aggressive drop. This time also we saw a drop, but it was not too deeper. From here it went sideways and then it broke the lower support zone. So as I mentioned, there are two technical resistance zones. First one is this flat, or I must say horizontal resistance, and then we have this diagonal resistance area. We have a confluence here. Both zones are resistance. If at all it goes up, then I'm expecting another pullback, and right at the apex of this triangle chart pattern we will see a breakout. I'm still targeting 1.00 and higher. Overall, no doubt Union Properties is still in an uptrend. I have still given it a uptick. It is just going through its correction phase. It's in a chart pattern that is looking a bit weaker because we saw two attempts were made to break down. So overall, to recap, there are chances, yes, Union Properties can go up. It can hit this resistance and come down. So if at all you have bought it, or if at all you are buying into this zone, don't be trapped, because most likely it will not break out in this first attempt. Definitely, if at all it hits this area, it has to come down for a retest, because in first attempt it will not be able to clear out. This retracement will be a big opportunity. Let me clear it out and explain again. As I mentioned, if at all it continues going up in first attempt, most likely it will not break out this resistance. It has to come down to establish a base or to retest this zone, any of the price areas. This drop should be considered as buying opportunity. You can start accumulating anyway into this zone, and from here I'm expecting aggressive move to the upside, or we can say a breakout of this chart pattern. Overall, UPP is still looking positive. Hit the like button and join my YouTube membership for more recommendations with entries and exit. Thanks for watching. Keep stocking.